The war had begun. No more peace truce and no more waiting. It was swords and arrows that communicated. The first half of the war was an easy victory for the side of Ram. Ram and his army could easily defeat Durmukh, Prahast, and Mugrakshas. Ravan's fury had no bounds, and he knew that the war was not going to be easy or quickly ending. Hence, he called his most trusted and skilled warrior to the battlefield. Indrajit entered the field. Ravan let his son go and fight Ram. Indrajit was the person who had defeated Indra, and Ravan's faith in him knew no bounds. He also knew that Indrajit could never be defeated in a war because Brahma gave him a boon that if he prayed and did a yagna before the war, he would never be defeated. Thus, an angry Indrajit entered the battlefield, and the wrath of Indrajit was felt by everyone. While the defeat had enraged Ravan, the victory did boost the morale of Ram's army. They had a breather and were ready to bounce back stronger. However, what happened next was nothing that they expected. Indrajit entered the battlefield, and he was no ordinary warrior. His skills and strengths were illusion and magic. This was an area where Ram's army was very weak. The deceptive illusions by Indrajit managed to kill a large portion of Ram's army. Ram and Lakshman were worried now. Hence, they decided to take the matter in their own hand and defeat Indrajit. They went to Indrajit and started firing arrows at him. Indrajit tackled them with ease. He suddenly disappeared. Ram and Lakshman were searching for him. He could not be found anywhere. Suddenly, they saw a figure coming toward them. It was Sita that was coming to them. Ram and Lakshman were delighted to see her, and they thought that the war had finally ended. As Sita's figure came closer, Ram felt that something was off. He knew that Sita would never be furious toward them, and she would never do something to harm them. However, Lakshman had dropped his weapons and was delighted beyond measure. As Sita came closer, Lakshman's delight knew no bounds. He had lost his senses and started celebrating. Ram was also convinced that it was the end, but he was cautious. He did not drop his weapons, but he had certainly become at ease. Suddenly, Sita disappeared and an arrow came towards the brothers. It was a divine weapon called Nagapaksha. Before the brothers could react to it, the weapon had done its work and made the brothers unconscious. A state of panic and desperation hovered over Ram's army. Indrajit was delighted beyond measure that he had finally killed the brothers and avenged the death of his loved ones. The wrath of Indrajit was coming down. He returned to Ravan as the day came to an end, and he saw no point in staying behind to look over a defeated enemy. This news also reached Sita, who was devastated to hear it. She broke down and started praying endlessly to Lord Vishnu. What would the army do without the two mighty warriors? What would Sita do without her husband?